Welcome to Job or Nobody, where we talk about blasters like nobody's business. And today, we're talking about stuff for blasters like nobody's business. All these batteries, all these chargers, LiPo bags, battery testers. Oh my God, I can't believe I have to do this because people can't use Google, and it's annoying me. So shut the fuck up, sit down, watch this video, pay attention to the stuff, do the things. Get ready to use your wallet because it's smart. Now, be smart. Make good choices. Shit lasts. Right. Let's get into it.
You know what really grinds my gears?
This comes up way too often, and I didn't feel like doing this video, but here we are. Batteries, chargers, not being a f***head with them. Learn how your shit works. Like, if you want your blasters to be enjoyable for a long time, learn how your shit works and how to take care of them. Fucking end up. Stop being fucked. Stop asking stupid questions. Google, YouTube, lots of shit fucking exists to fucking help you. Anyway, let's get into this. So we've got a fuckload of batteries. We've got some shitty chargers, but that can all fuck off. Now, typically, your new M4, because that's mostly like what you're going to get, will come with that and that.
Here's a nice piece of shit.
Probably with a different connector, but I've changed everything to Dean's because Dean's the fucking world. Universally better than every connector. XT30s are pretty good. Lots of stuff starting to come with that. Thank fuck. They weren't really around or popular when I started some 7 years ago, so we went with Dean's. They're not much different in size, pretty easy to connect and so on. If you're going to change to something, XT30 or Dean's, XT60 is a little bit big over the amp draw requirement we need. Dean's is too. XT30's acceptable. This is what your normal battery will be. It's a Li-ion, lithium ion. They use them because they're pretty safe, pretty hard to kill battery. If you fire these to the point where your blaster is going bleh, 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 and starting to slow down, fucking stop.
Stop it. Get some help.
Stop using your blaster. As soon as you hear your rate of fire and response slow down, because that means this is probably dropping below 3 odd volts. On a LiPo, there's one here somewhere, blaster will typically come with a 7 volt Li-ion, lithium ion, or a 7 volt LiPo, lithium polymer. LiPos are usually square. There are a very select few of this brand in particular that they're an 11 volt and they're a tiny thing about the size of that, and they're a Li-ion, lithium ion. In my opinion, they don't belong in any fucking blaster ever that small as a Li-ion. It just doesn't have the required amps even for a stock blaster. It's obviously cheap. That's what you're going to get. You're going to get cheap stuff when you buy cheap stuff. Li-ions. This one, Focus, says 3000 milliamp hours. Now, I fucking know that's not no 3000 milliamp hour plain blue or this checkered shit. There's no way they're 3000 milliamp hours. They're more likely, and the way I've seen China do stuff is they will label it as 3000 milliamp hours. What they mean is both cells combined. Terminology is everything. When they're run together in 7 volt flavor, 3.7 volts per cell is nominal voltage, max of 4.2 when they're charged. These can go down to about 3 volts, not ideally, but they can. You will still be able to charge them and recover anything above, I'd say 3.2 is safe. Battery testers, very handy pieces of equipment. You can't exactly pick it up and just know it's charged or not, and you can't trust, especially these cheap USB chargers, to charge them properly, or cheap batteries. Plug this in, and that one's about 4 volts per cell, 8 odd volts. This will go to a max of 8.4, is fully charged. 6 is dead. Charge me, please. We'll get to storage charging. That, I can almost guarantee, just from how long it lasts, is actually a 1500 milliamp hour battery. Each cell would be 1500 milliamp hours. China combines them. It's mislabeling. That is an actual 3000 milliamp hour battery. It's still a Li-ion. They just use better cells. Better cells mean that actually both of those are 3000 milliamp hours each. That will last If on a stock blaster, most people will get a full day of play out of a Titan 3000 milliamp hour 7 volt. Well, the 11 volt, notice the extra cell. Well, that's 7 volt is 2 cells. 11 volt is 3 cells. You can easily identify by the charging cord, balance cord. Note the 7 volt has a ground and 2 positives for each of that. 11 volt has a ground and 3 positives to each cell. This is so you can charge each cell individually and balance the cells. Speaking of balancing, speaking of chargers, here's a cheap charger. 7 volt, notice how I haven't ever used it. It's still tied up. I give these away. I never use them. These are actually the only 2 that I have some 60 odd blasters in ownership later. I don't keep them. I give them away. Your new blaster is also giving them away. They're trying to make it a nice, complete package so you can just take it home, the shonky gels included, and the shonky battery and the shonky charger, and have a bit of fun and see if you like the hobby or not. If you do, buy better ones. Oh, man, quite direct. But let's make it work. Your cheap chargers, some have a green and a red light, some just have one light. The light will go on and then change color or turn off or flash and then go solid when it's charged. They're all different, they're all cheap, they're all shit. Do they do the job? They can. If you are using one of these, plug it into a phone brick or something, plug this in, plug that in, figure out whether your light flashes, goes on, turns off, changes color. Blah, every charger is different. Watch it. Watch these chargers. Now, a little tiny battery like that, that's not even the size of my finger or my thumb. Meh. You do not want to leave, especially LiPos, on a USB charger. Now, how these work is they charge, they put voltage, energy into the cells. They will try their best to balance it. They're a very cheap, simple circuit. For instance, you want to know how cheap that simple circuit is? That's a real charger. It's bigger than my hand, has functions. If you're serious about staying in the hobby, get a proper charger. This one isn't even a legit one. Sky RC is the legit version. This is a cheap version. This is over 7 years old and it works fine. As a rule of thumb, never leave a battery charging unattended. Ever, ever. Especially with these. With your expensive charger, that will cut off voltage and stop charging. This will say it does. Everything's solid state. It's always connected. It will try to trickle up all 3 cells or all 2 cells, whatever you've got. It will try to trickle them all up to 4.2 volts per cell. Now, if one cell is a fair bit lower than the others, it may trickle them all up. They'll all go to there, and then one will be down here. What it then does is sort of discharges and keeps charging with the idea that it brings that down and it will slowly balance together. Do they work when they're horrendously imbalanced because one cell's had a bit of trauma or just sucks? Mass production. When one cell sucks, the other cell just keeps getting charged and charged and charged. Charge, discharged, and they're trying to bring them up. These may never actually do that. If you've got a little battery, even these batteries, after an hour, if it's still not saying it's charged, don't worry about it. Take it off, use the thing, because not a real charger, just a cheap stopgap till you buy a real charger. If you have a nice thing like this, you can actually plug it in and see what each one is. Boom. Now, I try to storage charge everything. 3.85 volts is storage charge. It's around 50% of a LiPo. This one I haven't used in probably maybe a year, and it's still storage charge. Now, if you don't have a charger capable of storage charging your battery, what you can do, they're cheap. These are also cheap. Charge it 10-15 minutes, plug it in. When it's somewhere close to 3.8 volts, call it a day. If you leave your batteries when you're not using them, especially for long periods, at about 3.85 volts, they will last a very long time. If you charge them up completely before you go play with your blaster, use it, and then storage charge them, they will last a long time. Now, how do you know when it's running out? Well, if your blaster's slowing down, it's definitely running out. Stop using it, get another battery, or charge that one. If it's warm when you stop using it, let it cool down before you charge it, please. The voltage will change as the temperature changes, especially if it's warm from use. Fuck, I need a break because this is going really fast and there's a lot of shit I need to tell you people about. So there's all sorts of types of batteries. Well, that's an 11 volt Titan. Stock blasters or low amp draw blasters, lithium ion is fine. Lithium polymer lipos are much better. They have a higher discharge and they won't heat up as much when stressed from using that discharge. Higher stress blasters want higher output batteries. That's what your lipos are for. If you have a brushless motor, the amp draw is significantly less than a brushed motor. A good quality neomagnet motor is pretty good if the speed isn't too crazy. So something up to like a 30 odd K neomagnet brushed motor isn't going to really draw too many amps unless you're trying to ask a lot out of it with a big spring and really fast gears. This is also an 11 volt. They call these nunchucks. The idea is you can fit them around a barrel of an MP5 in a handguard or different compartments of a stock. These two, they're just 7 volt lions. I use a lot for testing because if something goes wrong, if there's a short, these will get hot. They're pretty safe, long as you notice they're getting hot because there's a short and pull them out and disconnect them, they'll survive. Lipos will, they tend to just start smoking. All electronic stuff runs on smoke. If the smoke gets out, it doesn't fucking work anymore.
Is it some kind of joke?
Yes!
If you have a lot of batteries, LiPo safe bag, they're a good way of storing things and a good way of charging. A lot of people, when they're charging them, will put that in with the wires hanging out and charge it. This is smart. If there is a fire or something shorts out and that goes hiss and boom, these LiPo bags are designed to melt and shrink and choke the fire. Not a lot of money for one of these. I think I paid like $5 or $10 for that. I got heaps of them because I got heaps of batteries. Blast for 7 years and collect shit, you're going to end up with a heap of battery. But that is infinitely cheaper than a house. Get a good charger, get a LiPo bag, get a tester. Stop using these as soon as you can if you're serious about the hobby. And stop using these as soon as you can if you're serious about the hobby. A good quality battery is good for your blaster. Don't leave these unattended. If it's still flashing or if it says it's still charging after an hour, just take it off. It's probably not going to charge it. It's probably trying to balance two cells. Generally speaking, these cheap things will do 90% of the charge required to charge a battery in the first 20-30 minutes. The rest of it, it's trying to balance the two cells so they're the same voltage. These are cheap. They probably never do it. If it's really imbalanced, they definitely ain't going to ever do it. If you notice this is still flashing at an hour and saying it's not charged, disconnect it and use it anyway. Now, if your battery doesn't have the capacity it used to, you're finding it's not getting as long at a game or as many mags, it's probably dying. The cells are degraded and they're only going to get worse. A battery that's degraded will not get better. It will only get worse. You can prevent that by using a decent charger that balances your things. These can also regulate how many amps to charge it. If I have one like this, I usually charge that at about 0.5 amps. One of these, I charge at 2 amps. Most batteries, I charge at 1 amp. What I do with all batteries, I run the storage charge, so they're all 3.85 volts per cell, and then I put them in one of these bags and it just chills out yonder. But what you should do, if you're going to go play a game tomorrow, charge them today. Put them in your bag, keep them safe, go and use them, have your fun. When you get home, storage charge. Now, if you've only got this and this, if you've got that, you can still sort of storage charge. You'll just have to stop charging, connect to that, see what the voltage is. Now, as a rule of thumb, not dead, not full, is way better than leaving them in either of those states. Ideally 3.85 volts per cell, then put that away till you're going to use it next time. You can still pull that out and use it at storage charge. It won't be quite to its full potential. It certainly won't last as long. Storage charge you can use for testing. Just dumping a mag here and there. It's not going to hurt it. If you leave that dead, it's going to die. It won't be able to recharge. The cells will degrade. You'll need a new battery. If you leave that full for a long time, the cells are going to degrade. They're not going to last as long. And then you'll find yourself where once these go below 3 volts, that won't charge them. It just will not, because that won't charge. It just will not. What actually happens is you'll try and charge it and it will degrade the cells further. The voltage of the cells will actually go down. Take care of your batteries. Don't leave them full or dead for a long time. Ideally, don't leave them full or dead for more than a few hours. When you finished a game, come home, try and get them to storage voltage. If you don't know what that is, if you don't have a tester, easiest way is just leave that on the charger for 5-10 minutes. It won't fully charge it unless it's already fully charged. Use your brain. Leave them about half charged. You'll generally get to know after a few uses. That might take 45 minutes, 50 minutes, an hour, whatever it is, whatever that takes to charge it, roughly less than half that time. If that takes an hour to charge and you've run it down to the point where your blaster slows down, I'd probably only charge it for 20 minutes, then put it away. You want to leave these with some voltage in them at all times. Ones can go to 3 volts and still be salvaged. Time is a factor. These 3.3 volts, you do not want these to go below 3.3 volts. They will then die and you will not be able to charge them again. I hope this helps someone. Everyone with a blaster probably has some sort of batteries. This is a very small selection of the batteries I have. Have I killed batteries? You better fucking believe I have. I've done dumb shit. You fix hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of, well, probably thousands of blasters at this point. You're bound to occasionally do something stupid, forget something, blow up a battery, or come very close to it. I haven't blown one up. I have seen one of these sizzle a few times, and I've sizzled a few of these. Now, that's because there's a short in the blaster. What I do when I first plug these into my blaster, out of habit, I hold the battery for a moment. If there's a short when you plug it in, the battery will immediately start heating up. If that happens, disconnect your battery. You need to take your blaster. If that happens, disconnect your battery immediately. Keep an eye on it until it cools down. And your blaster, if you can't fix it, needs to go to a blaster doctor like me, because you will not fix it unless you rewire it. If that's heated up when you plug it into your blaster, there's a very good chance there's a short, and there's a very good chance the insulation on the wires in the blaster have melted and the short has got infinitely worse. So take care of your stuff as soon as you can. Get one of these, then you can make good choices based on the voltage of your batteries, and you know what they're doing, and you know what these are doing and what these are doing. You also should get a LipoSafe bag as soon as possible. Both these things are very cheap. I guarantee you both these things combined are cheaper than a new one of them, even a cheap one. A good quality charger. This is a knockoff of an actual good quality charger, and it's significantly better than that. I would recommend getting an actual brand one. I've already started the video. I'm not going to rummage through my shit to find the good one. Schmeh, make better choices. At a minimum, eventually what you want to have is good quality batteries, LipoSafe bag, good quality charger, and a battery tester. Because just these things here alone will mean they will last a lot longer. The sooner you can wean yourself off these, the better. They're good for storage, safe for your house, safe as houses. Now I get to make a coherent mess out of this rant. Fuck. End thoughts. Plan to get good quality batteries, LipoSafe bag, that and decent charger, and your stuff will last a lot longer. Treat your stuff well and it'll treat you well. It's pretty simple. Enjoy. Have fun.